Validation and verification. Let's have a look and see what this is. So validation, this is checking the data to make sure it's reasonable and within a set bounds, not necessarily correct. Verification, this is checking that the data entered is accurate and that it is the same as the original. So they are different. Let's have a look at some methods. So firstly, the types of validation. First one is a range check. This is a type of validation that makes sure data is between the minimum and a maximum. Length check. This is a type of validation that checks the number of characters is within a set limit. So for example, your password must be at least 8 characters. Type check. This is a type of validation that checks the data is of the correct data type. For example, you are entering a string in a name field and not integers. Presence check. This is a type of validation that makes sure that the data has been entered. So something like a key field, like a password, you cannot leave empty. Format check. This is a type of validation that makes sure that data meets a specific order. For example, one number followed by 3 letters. This would be commonly used in a postcode field where it would start with a letter and then followed by a series of numbers. Verification. There are 2 methods of verification. The first one is a visual check. All this is you compare the data entered with the original side by side. Double entry. This is another method of verification. This is where 2 different people enter the same data and then it's compared to ensure that the data entered is correct. Let's have a look now. Here is some pseudocode. You might be given a pseudocode, some pseudocode, and you would have to explain which method of validation the pseudocode is. So if we look at this pseudocode, it tells us to input a number, then it has an if statement to say if the number is less than 1 or the number is less than 10, then it outputs invalid. And just by looking at this pseudocode, we can clearly see that this is a range check type of validation because it's data between a minimum and a maximum number. And we have to input data between that number, otherwise it will output invalid.